official pa YouTube. Mutha kutipeza ku maofesi athu ku area 2 mu mzinda wa Lilongwe kapena kuimba foni pa manambala awa 0994 442 058 kapena 0883 815 055. Bwerani kuti tikuthandizeni kuti ntchito zanu zionekere kwa anthu. Luntha Television, kubweretsa luntha pa khomo panu. Are you passing through Desert Town and you think of finding a place to rest or just to have some nice food? Always keep this name in your mind. Comfort Lodge. Situated in Airfield at Desert Town. Here at Comfort Lodge, we offer comfortable, affordable, and quality accommodation. The place is located at a very quiet environment that gives you a comfortable and peaceful sleep. We also offer local food such as madimba, masambo tendera, chisoso, ndi ndo zina za lokolo zambiri. Talking of entertainment, that's not an issue as we have a DSTV for your favorite channels. Tight security, electricity and water backups are all in place just for you, dear customers. During this time of COVID-19, we have all measures in place just for your safety. Oh yes, come and taste a different feel of life here at Comfort Lodge in the town. Comfort Lodge. Comfort Lodge, your number one place for affordable and quality accommodation.
Service Charter ndi ndondomeko yomwe nthambi za boma zikugwiritsa ntchito potumikira.
You're watching Luntha Television and it's time for news. My name is Helbert Katanda. First, let's have a look at our top stories.
The Catholic Church leader Pope Francis turns 88. Malawi Parliament passes Insurance Act of 2024 amidst concerns. Malawi Congress Party caught in elections handout scheme. And the news from elsewhere, France to impose nighttime curfew on devastated Mayotte.
We have these and more other stories to stay tuned then. The Catholic Church leader Pope Francis clocked 88 on Tuesday, the 17th of December 2024, becoming the third oldest pope still in office. Only Pope Leo XIII, who reached at the age of 93, and Pope Agathon, the 7th century pope, who supposedly lived to be 102, are ahead of him. Pope Benedict XVI died at the age of 95, but he had left office at 85. We have the details.
Born Jorge Mario Bergoglio, Pope Francis was born on the 17th of December 1936 in a poor district of Buenos Aires in a family of Italian immigrants. At the age of 21, he decided to become a priest and was elected Pope at the age of 77. He is the first Bishop of Rome outside Europe and the first Jesuit to hold this position. He is also the first Pope to choose the name Francis, not referencing the names of his predecessors. Despite health problems, the Pope does not hold back in his daily service. Every day, he receives numerous groups and guests in audiences. After an intense visit to Corsica, Pope Francis held 8 audiences. Although he often uses a wheelchair due to knee problems, he does not give up his foreign trips. So far, he has made 47 trips, including the longest to Asia and Oceania, covering about 34,000 kilometers. Naturally, he acknowledged the option of stepping down, expressing that it wouldn't be catastrophic and that even the Pope could be replaced without issue. For now, however, he emphasized the importance of conserving his energy.
The August House has passed the Insurance Act of 2024 despite concerns from opposition lawmakers. The Act reappeals and replaces the Insurance Act Chapter 47 to address emerging issues in the insurance industry. But several members of parliament from various opposition political parties said that there was a need for the bill to be reviewed and polished to address gaps that were noticed during deliberations. They wondered why the bill should be passed in the House while it did not go through various concerned stakeholders. Fale Chizombe reports.
Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs Simplex Chorabanda explained that bill's objective is to provide regulation of the insurance industry and insurance entities. This regulation aims to promote the safety, soundness, prudent management and protection of policyholders. The Insurance Act of 2024 will apply to various entities including insurers, insurance brokers, bank insurance agents, loss assessors, loss adjusters, and claims settling agents. These entities will be required to comply with the new regulations to avoid having their licenses revoked.
Parcel, not only by getting feedbacks and updates, but also by contributing with solutions on how best we can recover from the economic malaise, more especially in order to achieve sustainable debt levels. So I really thank them, each one of them who actually contributed. And I have told this House today on progress made on ECF, but also not only that, issues that we are doing on debt restructuring and negotiation.
In his remarks, Opposition Democratic Progressive Party Member of Parliament from Mongoji Southwest, Shadrack Namalumba, expressed concerns that the bill has several gaps. He emphasized that these gaps will ultimately benefit insurance agents at the expense of policyholders and Malawians. The new act is expected to have a significant impact on the insurance industry in Malawi, whereby companies and agents will need to adapt to the new regulations to avoid facing penalties.
Malawi Congress Party has been wrapped in a sketch of electoral practices, with its officials dishing out handouts to Malawi Electoral Commission practitioners and electorates. An observation report by the Chisanko Watch, a coalition of various elections stakeholders, which monitored the voter registration exercise by the Malawi Electoral Commission, says the indelicacies occurred during the third phase of the exercise in Lilongwe and Sanje constituency. The report says, for instance, a Malawi Congress Party member of Parliament for Sanje Central constituency, Kafandigale Mandevana, was eyed distributing 10,000 Malawi kwacha to make voter registration staff and electorates at Nyamitutu Registration Center in the area. Bernard Mwanza reports.
Verified reports in Lilongwe constituency revealed that an MCP MP, whom the organization did not mention, distributed cash handouts and soya pieces to potential registrants. The alleged member of parliament is said to have promised access to loans through the National Economic Empowerment Fund, NEF. Speaking on the sidelines of the report's dissemination in Lilongwe on Tuesday, the group's chairperson, Bishop Guilford Matonga, said the action constitutes a breach of the Political Parties Act and the Malawi Electoral Commission Code of Conduct and poses a risk to the credibility and impartiality of the steering.
Most of the findings that we have had in the first and second phase still remain sticky issues in the third phase. And when we look at issues of the accessibility of people with disabilities to the centers, most of those centers where registration was taking place were not that people with disabilities friendly. There were very few people that were able to assist people with disabilities. So that remains a challenge that we have cited. And if nothing is done it means that even during the electoral process next year, people with disabilities will find it very difficult.
Reacting to the development, MCP spokesperson J.C. Kabwira said their party has run a credible registration campaign during the exercise, saying if anyone has evidence about the said conduct, should report it to necessary authorities.
Okay, now, as I've told other news places, we welcome, oversight missions where people are trying to, check what's going on and make sure that everybody is held accountable. Our advice to this team is they should take whatever evidence they've got, take it to institutions that handle such issues. They should bring evidence, and I'm sure the relevant authorities, upon presentation of the evidence, will act as accordingly. As for us, what we know is we've run a registration campaign that is not only credible but very professional and has actually been based on two things, mainly making sure that the voters of Malawi Congress Party understand the importance of voting and registering, and secondly, making sure that they are clear that it's their civic duty.
The Chisanku Watch conducted the once-over since the onset of the exercise in Mzimba, Lilongwe Rural, Lilongwe City, Mangochi Municipality, Mwanza, Chikwawa and Nsanje. The third phase of voter registration commenced on November 28th to December 11th, 2024.
Malawi Congress Party has disclosed lodging a complaint against the Democratic Progressive Party's Mulanje Bale legislator Victor Musowa on his violent sentiments. Speaking at a press conference in Lilongwe on Tuesday, Secretary General for the party Richard Chimwendo Banda condemned the utterance by the member, saying the conduct has the possibility of causing fear among other political party members. But National Police spokesperson Peter Galaya could not confirm having received a complaint regarding the matter. We have a report.
Member of Parliament for Mulanje Bale, Victor Musowa, is said to have told a political rally that if person is putting on MCP regalia should be chased or beaten in Ndirande, a Blantyre township. He has since come under fire for telling such statements which do not go down well with the ruling MCP leadership, including Secretary General Richard Chimwendo Banda, who told a press conference on Tuesday that such utterances are uncalled for in democratic dispensation, saying they have since lodged a complaint with the Malawi police on the matter.
We are a political party, we are not police. The police must remain independent. And let me answer in affirmative the issue about Meg Chair and NLRB Principal Secretary. Let me say it very clear that in the history of this country, and according to law, Malawi Electoral Commission Chairperson, the nomination comes from the Judicial Service Commission. Judicial Service Commission is an independent body. This is an independent body. It's not affiliated to any political party. And in history, they have been nominating chairpersons. Once they do the nomination, the names are sent to the president. The president is not a final authority. The name goes to Malawi Parliament, the National Assembly. The Public Appointments Committee, which is a committee which comprises all 3 or 4 major political parties in the country, they do conduct an interview to see whether that person really fits to become a chairperson. They do that. Once that is done, then that's a final thing.
According to rights groups, the remarks by Musowa are detestable as the country is going towards elections. However, Chimwendo was quick to advise members of the MCP not to retaliate and that the party's condemnation of the malpractice does not give its members room to take laws in their hands. Another DPP elite is also answering similar charges in court for making similar insensible remarks. On the other hand, however, DPP has been complaining against some unknown men who have been carrying pangas, stopping people wanting to conduct demonstrations in the country. At the time of filing this story, National Police spokesperson Peter Kalaya was yet to return our call when we sought his confirmation.
You're still watching news on Luntha television, coming to you live from Bishop Navy Media Center in Area 2, Lilongwe. Do stick around as we'll be back shortly after the break.
Wairesi yakanema ya Luntha ndi wairesi ya mpingo wa Katolika yomwe imafikira anthu onse mdziko la Malawi komanso maiko akunja. Zina mwa zomwe wairesi imachita ndi monga kujambula ndi kuwulutsa mauthenga ndi mapulogalamu osiyanasiyana ndi cholinga chofuna kukudziwitsani, kukuphunzitsani komanso kukusangalatsani, kujambula nyimbo za makwaya komanso oyimba ena, kukonza ndi kujambula mapulogalamu osiyanasiyana okhudza za umoyo, maphunziro, chilungamo ndi mtendere, maufulu a anthu, zachilengedwe ndi zagwidwe ka ntchito pakati pa amayi ndi abambo, kujambula ndi kuwulutsa miyambo ya mapemphero, misonkhano ya mabungwe osiyanasiyana ngakhalenso zipani za ndale, komanso kuthandiza kutukula ochita malonda ang'onoang'ono ndi akulu omwe powalengezera malonda awo. Zonsezi zimatheka pa mitengo yokambirana. Onerani kanema wa Luntha pa machanelo awa: Starsat channel 474, Star Times channel 474, Top Star channel 474, Zouk channel 51, Clear channel 007, Go TV channel 807, Azam channel 386. Komanso mutha kutitsatira ndi kuonera mapulogalamu osiyanasiyana pa Luntha Television Facebook page komanso Luntha TV Official pa YouTube. Mutha kutipeza ku maofesi athu ku area 2 mu mzinda wa Lilongwe kapena kuimba foni pa manambala awa 0994 442 058 kapena 0883 815 055. Bwerani kuti tikuthandizeni kuti ntchito zanu zionekere kwa anthu. Luntha Television, kubweretsa Luntha pa khomo panu.
Welcome back. Now let's have a look at our top stories once more before we proceed.
The Catholic Church leader Pope Francis turns 88. Malawi Parliament passes Insurance Act of 2024 amidst concerns. Malawi Congress Party caught in elections handout scheme. And the news from elsewhere: France to impose nighttime curfew on devastated Mayoti.
Moving on, the Center for Democracy and Economic Development Initiatives has learned with dismay the deplorable manner in which the Commission of Inquiry has handled the long-awaited report containing its findings on the plane crash. In a press statement made available to Luntha Television, seated Executive Director Sylvester Namira says it is worrisome to note that 3 days after the Commission read out the report to the public, which has been yearning for answers to the tragic accident on Malarian, has had an opportunity to read through the report. Namiwa has since called for an immediate release of the report for public interest. Emmanuel Chocha reports.
President Chakwera announced the formation of a commission of inquiry on October 25, 2024 to investigate the plane crash. 2 months later, the report was submitted, but it has raised several questions and sparked debates among Malawians. Namiwa expressed surprise at the chairperson of the commission, Justice Jabbar Alide, clinging to the report despite completing their task. Namiwa pointed out that Malawians were initially told that the President Chakwera had directed the commission to release the report to the public first, followed by a presentation to him. However, after reading the report, the public was informed through the media that the President's prerogative would decide when to make the report public. This contradiction has raised concern about the Commission's transparency and accountability. SIDED believed that the Commission and the President are playing games with Malawians. They either lied about the President's directive or are buying time to further doctor the report, which many considered as a sham and a waste of resources and time. The organization demands that the Commission or the government make the report available to Malawians in a soft or hard copy, emphasizing that if the report is not made public, it is not yet out. The plane crash occurred on June 10, 2024, resulting in a tragic death of the Vice President, Chilima, former First Lady, Chanel Zimbili, and 7 others. The incident has prompted numerous stakeholders and individuals to call for an investigation. Public demands answers. Malawians are yearning for answers and transparency regarding the plane crash. The Center for Democracy and Economic Development Initiative, CIDED, demands for the report release reflect the public growing frustrations and concern. CIDED has threatened to take unspecified action to push for the report release, emphasizing the need for accountability and transparency. The organization will continue to advocate for public rights to access the report and the truth about the plane crash. For Luntha News, this is Emmanuel Chocha.
The Catholic Development Commission in Malawi, CADICOM, has commended the Department of Meteorological Services and Climate Change and the Department of Disaster Management Affairs for preparing Malawians against the just past cyclone Chido. Speaking to Luntha Television, CADICOM Programs Officer for National Office, Aaron Kandiwo-Mtaya, said the two departments had a well collaboration in circulating information about the cyclone throughout the threatening days, and even sending needed support to risk areas way before it entered the country. Kandiwo-Mtaya, while commending civil society organizations for supporting government in response, said that there is need for commitment to have the disaster risk management bill implemented so that people that are living in prone areas should relocate to safer places for better management. Here is part what he said.
I think we should also understand that there is a section in the Act that has just been passed, the 2023 Act, the LM Act. And it is stipulated in that Act to say those that are living in disaster-prone areas should move out of such dangerous zones, so that they should be relocating to a safer, maybe, land. So to say, when this comes into play, as in when we start implementing the Act itself, I believe this is going to be answered and it's going to be dealt with, because now it will be an issue of the law that indeed people should be forced to vacate the places And at the same time, there's a provision of a fund, meaning to say government also maybe come in as to support these communities trying to source some land where they can also stay, the land which is safe as well. We can give examples, of course, not in response to the implementation of the Act itself, but should it be circumscribed? We had some people that were also maybe moved out of one village to another just to protect them. So I think that's also an example that we can give. And we believe when we start implementing this act, surely things are a bit different. So it's a matter of time. We're still pushing that the processes should be finalized, and then we have the role on the ground that people should be stand now.
The Zambian government has applauded chiefs in Malawi for providing land to refugee settlement, calling the gesture crucial to enhancing the welfare and management of refugees. Goodson Sinyenga, Director of Planning and Research in Zambia's Ministry of Home Affairs and International Security, met the sentiments when he addressed a Malawian delegation that had come to Lusaka to observe best practices on how Zambia is handling refugee management. He says it is crucial to incorporate chiefs, citing their pivotal role in the management of refugees as the ones who live with people. We have the details.
We have another big camp in the Western Province, Mayukwa. Again, that land was provided by their Royal Highnesses in that area. So just like the way Chief Mena and other chiefs in the Northwestern provided the area where Maheva is. Maheva is almost the size of Singapore. If you look, it's quite a big piece of land. So as government, we are trying to do everything possible to modernize these refugees hosting camps or areas. Because, you know, where we are living now, we are all potential refugees. So we may run to Malawi. So we can just encourage Malawi and their Royal Highnesses to give Malawi more land to establish these refugees camps. There's a lot of some disturbances within the region. This week we had the SADC organ troika. The disturbances in DRC, East Congo are still ongoing, and that's why as Zambia we still continue to receive this influx of refugees running away from the disturbance there. Angola is trying to block a ceasefire. Hopefully there will be peace returning to East Congo.
We need also some sensitization with the community so that they should receive and treat these refugees as themselves. You see, that we need to do, because I've seen the reception of the Zambian people towards the refugees. It's very cordial. And to say the truth, I'm sure this is not the end of the Malawian delegation to come to Zambia, but I would also like to urge some officials of the government and the chief. We had an opportunity to visit one of the chiefs. You know, the statement which was made by the chiefs made all of us to cry. We cried. It was very touching. And I'm sure if a delegation also can also come to Malawi and speak to the community where we are trying to relocate these refugees, that will help a lot in our country.
And now in news from elsewhere, France said it will impose a night-time curfew on the Indian Ocean island of Mayotte starting on Tuesday evening after the French overseas territory was devastated by a cyclone feared to have killed hundreds. According to the latest official toll, 21 people are confirmed to have been killed by Cyclone Chido when it burrowed into the island and its surrounding archipelago at the weekend. We have the details.
But authorities fear that hundreds and possibly even thousands were killed once the true scale of the toll is revealed after the rubble is cleared and roads unblocked. The health services are in tatters, power and mobile phone services have been knocked out, the airport closed to civilian flights, and there is mounting concern about how to ensure supplies of drinking water. Cyclone Chido is the latest in a string of storms worldwide fueled by climate change, according to experts. The curfew from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. local time is being put in place as a security measure to prevent looting, the French Interior Ministry said. French President Emmanuel Macron, who chaired a crisis meeting on Monday night, has described the situation as a tragedy and promised to visit Mayotte in the coming days. Interior Minister Bruno Retailleau, who on Monday was the first top Paris official to visit the island after the cyclone, said the Mayotte has been completely devastated with 70% of inhabitants affected. He announced the arrival in the coming days of 400 additional gendarmes to reinforce the 1,600 gendarmes and police officers present on the archipelago, while specifying that there had not really been any looting so far. The exceptional cyclone was supercharged by particularly warm Indian Ocean waters, meteorologist Francois Gourand of the Météo France Weather Service told AFP. Mayotte is France's poorest region, with an estimated one-third of the population living in shanty towns, whose flimsy sheet metal-roofed homes offered scant protection against the storm.
That also wraps up our today's news bulletin. But before we go, a reminder of our top stories.
The Catholic Church leader, Pope Francis, turns 88. Malawi Parliament passes Insurance Act of 2024 amidst concerns. Malawi Congress Party caught in elections handout scheme. And the news from elsewhere, France to impose nighttime curfew on devastated Mayotte.
My name is Herbert Katanda. Thanks for watching, and it's goodbye for now.
pomwe nyengo ya chikondwerero cha Christmas yafika, Luntha television yakubweretseraninso gawo lina la Christmas carols pomwe kwaya zosiyanasiyana zikhale zikusangalatani kuyambira lolemba pa 16 mpaka lachisanu